morning. Good morning. My name is Mebby Jackson, and I'm a member of the board here at the Tennessee Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. And on behalf of the board and the program council, I welcome you to today's service. I also welcome those who are visiting online and viewing from other parts of the building. If you are new to this church, there is a card in the front pocket in the seat pocket in front of you that you can fill out and place in the donation basket at the back of the sanctuary when you exit today. And if you are online, you can go to our website at TVUUC.org, and the drop-down menu, click on Stay in Touch and fill out the visitor card. So it also is, if you noticed it coming in the hallway, there is a religious exploration table. Miriam Davis is there to answer any questions about our offerings in that regard. And as we move forward together, remember, we are each other's keepers. And now for announcements, Noelle Aring has an announcement.
Hello, can you guys hear me okay? Awesome. So I am Noelle Aring, and as many of you, actually, you probably don't know me that well. Most people actually know my wife, Elise, who plays in the trombone, and she does a whole bunch of stuff in music. But I dedicate my time with the RE, the Religious Exploration, so I'm often not actually in service, and I'm with our youth. But I also lead our youth group, so our high school youth group, and that is why I'm here today, to invite you all to our all-ages prom. Now, one of the things, woo! Thank you. So one of the things that I want to make sure you guys know, it's truly for all ages. It is going to be May 3rd. It starts at 5:30 in the afternoon and goes till 9 for those of us who like to go to bed early, which would be me. So one of the things to think about, the purpose of this is twofold. The first is it's really a way for our congregation to come together and have fun. So that's goal number one. Goal number two is to really show up for our high schoolers. So I would love to see each and every one of you there helping us celebrate our high school youth. The other thing that this will do, it's a fundraiser. So our high school youth can do things like go to our congregational retreat. So one of the things that I would love to see is, one, that you're there. You show support. There's a lot of ways to help us out along the way. The other thing I want to just make clear is we are asking for registration, and that helps me understand who's coming. But it also, my wife, who's agreed to DJ, we're asking people for their favorite songs to dance to. One of the things that this prom will do is we're actually essentially doing songs through the decades. We're currently starting in the 50s, is that right, Elise? Exactly. So if you have a favorite song, please register, let us know. And also, if you have any other suggestions for music, Elise is welcome. The other thing that we're looking for are people to help us actually put this on for our youth. So there are sign-up geniuses looking for volunteers to volunteer your time, or to volunteer, we're doing light refreshments, or if you'd like, to add extra monetary donations for this. So one of the things you can do is check out our website, the QR code or the website. It's also in Realm. And if you have any questions on how to do any of this, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you navigate any of these things. But again, let's show up for our high school youth, and I want to have fun. So, the other thing I have people ask me is how are we supposed to dress? What were you use? So please come as you are and come how you feel comfortable, but I will be wearing a prom dress. So feel free to join me. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Noelle. Also today, starting at 1 o'clock in the Lizzie Crozier-French room, is our Starting Point conversations. It's an introduction to the Unitarian Universalist journey. What is Starting Point? Well, Starting Point is a new curriculum that replaces the new UU and the UU 101 sessions. This class is not only for newcomers to the church or people interested in membership, but also for established members. It offers newcomers and old-timers an opportunity to explore ways in which Unitarian Universalism can make a difference in their lives. Not only will it help you decide if UUism is right for you, but it is also an opportunity to reflect on your beliefs and values. And just a reminder, it's again today at from 1 to 3 at the Lizzie Crozier-French room. And also today at 1, we have a religious exploration offering for all ages, 12 and up. A spirit collage workshop will be held in room C, facilitated by Reverend Laura Bogle. The process of collage can be a great way to access deeper intuition and insight. As we celebrate our annual flower communion today, and as spring unfolds, what is ready to grow in your life, we'll be recycling in the best way possible with old magazines, cards, and other media. And you will be able to use those old things to create something new, meaningful, and blessing in your life. And there's no previous art experience necessary, and there will be pizza. So please enjoy the collage workshop at 1 o'clock in room C. And then please enjoy the coffee and conversation after the service today in the fellowship hall. And since it's such a gorgeous day, you can go outside as well. And as we begin our journey into worship, I invite you to silence any electronic devices you may have.
We come in a variety of colors, shapes, and sizes. Some of us grow in bunches. Some of us grow alone. Some of us are cupped inward, and some of us spread ourselves out wide. Some of us are old and dried and tougher than we appear. Some of us are still in bud. Some of us grow low to the ground, and some of us stretch towards the sun. Some of us feel like weeds sometimes. Some of us carry seeds sometimes. Some of us are prickly sometimes. Some of us smell, and all of us are beautiful. Come, let us worship together.
Let's join together in singing our chalice lighting song, Rise in Body or Spirit.
1, 2, ready, go.
Let's join together in our opening hymn, which is in your teal hymnal, hymn 1064, Blue Boat Home.
One, two, three, one, ready, go.
Hello, it's me again. My name is Mebby Jackson, and I'm also a member of the spiritual care team. We are a group of heart-centered, deep listeners that help with the caring needs of the congregation. We can be reached through the phone line listed in your order of service or on the website. And we share these joys and concerns weekly, but our best resource to find out is you. So if you know of anyone or you yourself are in need, please contact us. So this week, our hearts are saddened with Ken Kitchen as he lost his beloved Cricket, his Labrador retriever of 15 years that he and his late husband, Larry, nurtured and loved. Carol McCord accompanied him to the vet clinic on Friday where Cricket was laid to rest. So our hearts are with Ken because our fur babies, they carry our hearts. And we have some joys. The Straub Amaker family is thrilled to share that their daughter, Opal Jean Amaker, was born on April 8th, Eclipse Day. Mom Kendra Straub, Dad Todd Amaker, and big sister Elodie Amaker are settling into lots of love and snuggles. The Amaker-Straub family are TVUUC members and have been active for many years in the religious exploration programs as participants and volunteers. A meal train has been set up to help the family. Details will be in this week's newsletter or from the religious exploration staff. We also give joy to A.B. and Denise Coleman. They are happily home after a week of careful attention, monitoring, and treatment at Vanderbilt. A.B. is home and feeling fine. In the words of the Saint Julian of Norwich, all is well, and all manner of things be well, as they are home just in time to celebrate their 46th wedding anniversary. Another great joy is that Sylvia Smith was given her third chemo treatment last week, and she says, I get another chance to slow down this lung cancer. She also reports that Leo Sage drove her and Roger to the mill in Pigeon Forge for lunch, and it was the first time she could eat half her meal. It tasted so much better than Ensure. So our hearts are with Sylvia as she battles this wonder. And then we also have a joy with Kate Benson, who got to spend her 80th birthday up in Maine with her family. She got to see the eclipse, and she got to tour retirement villages and just be mobile and happy and with family. So we are grateful that she is back on her feet in the swing of things again. And I have a personal joy to share. Tuesday afternoon, after coming home from visiting my daughter in Cleveland, Ohio, I hydroplaned into the side of a semi-trailer. Due to the grace of my guardian angels and German engineering, I am here today to speak with y'all. So I thank you very much. I'm very grateful to be here. And please remember to visit our caring table in the fellowship hall to sign cards for the people that we just mentioned. And also we now get to sing our beautiful, loving song. So enjoy.
3, 1, 2. It's an exciting occasion this morning. We're having a child dedication, so we invite the families of Nathaniel Hoffman McConchie, Margot McGee, and Deacon and Felix Weaver. Come forward. So line up here. Lucas Broussard couldn't be with us here today because he's got a sinus infection, so we'll get him next time. Today we have the great and solemn responsibility of dedicating and receiving the blessing of these children. Nathaniel is Hebrew for gift from God. Nathaniel's full name is Nathaniel Michael Lee Hoffman McConchie. The name Michael comes from the dad's side of the family, and Lee comes from mom's, representing the love of two families coming together. Margot is a French word for pearl. Her name comes from Krista McBee's very energetic and dedicated grandmother who raised her and loved her, a reminder of a love passed down from one generation to the next. Deacon means messenger in Greek and the name was inspired by Steely Dan's song that says, "They've got a name for the winners in the world, I want a name when I lose." Deacon is a good name for both the ups and downs of life. Felix Weaver. Felix is Latin for fortunate or lucky or happy, and we've all seen how easily Felix moves from person to person during the coffee hour. Not something all babies do, a very happy child. And we are very fortunate and lucky to dedicate these children today.
Every child born into this world is something new, something never before, original and unique. Every child carries with them a divine spark, a holy light that can illuminate the world. Through this ritual this morning, we say we welcome this dawn of new light in our world.
To the parents, I ask these questions. It's a long list, so you can wait till the end. Do you commit to the best of your ability to bring patience, integrity, and commitment to grow, as well as a sense of wonder to this child? Will you accept and cherish your child for who they are and who they will be becoming? Will you believe in your child and their capacity to bring goodness into the world? Do you promise to love and protect them, giving them space without letting them go? If so, say, "We will."
And now, I invite the congregation to rise in body or spirit to affirm our covenant with these children and their families. Children are not possessions to own, but blessings entrusted to us to care for and to nurture. As the religious community of these children, it is right that we accept a measure of the responsibility to care for them and their parents. And now I have a list for the congregation. So wait until the end. Do you acknowledge your responsibility to care for these members of the next generation? To the best of your ability, will you welcome these children into your midst with open hearts? Will you do your best to remember and call them by their name when you encounter them in the world, here or elsewhere? Will you do your best to protect them from harm and to prepare a world worthy of them and of all children? Will you freely offer your support to these parents, knowing that all families need the help and love of friends if they are to thrive? If so, please answer, "We will." We will.
I present each of our children with a flower, and this flower is a symbol of our commitment to work together to ensure that each of you will grow, blossom, and bloom under the loving care of your family and the loving care of this community. May it be so. Let us welcome our children. I invite you, you can remain seated for our next hymn.
which is hymn 396 in your gray hymnal. I know this rose will open.
We'll be changing the text each time we repeat this verse. So the first time around, we'll be singing, I know this rose, and that's the start and the end. So we are only changing the start and the end. And then after that, I know this love, I know this heart, I know this world, and I know this life.
This rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. Love, I know this love will open. I know my fear will burn away. Love. Heart. Heart. World. Life. One more time on rose. I know this rose will open. I know
It's our privilege this morning to have drums up and guns down with us. Oba's gonna. Oba's going to tell us a little bit more about the organization, which is the beneficiary of our special collection today. And then we're going to hear some wonderful music.
How's everybody doing today? Good, good. My name is Obayana Janaku. I'm the founder and director of Drums Up, Guns Down. Of course, we started based off some tragic events that happened in East Knoxville probably about 4 years ago now. And since then, we've been very consistent with providing a safe space for our youth to be able to express themselves and heal and deal with past and present traumas. Whenever they go through things, whenever they are having issues, whether they're happy or sad or whatever they're going through, they have an outlet through the drums. And that's my job, is to make sure I be consistent and be there for them, to be able to provide the outlet for them. And so far, we have, within the last 4 years, we had some of our students graduate high school. One of our students right here graduated high school, and now he's on. Through many conversations, taking this young brother home, we talked about like what he wanted to do in the future, because it's also like important for me to kind of like guide them and just give advice and just kind of not just to try to just give them some direction. So we have many conversations about what he wants to do out of high school, and I asked him about college. He's like, I don't know about college. I said, you want to jump right into work? And he said, I might want to work a little bit. But we talked about him going to trade school, and he started trade school this past semester. So he's been. So that's kind of the result. So he's just one of our, just kind of update on what the program does. And I always like to speak about it's like a testimony, like about the program. So now he's continuing his future to kind of try to build a career for himself. So I just wanted to make sure I give him a shout out, because right now I just want to talk about some of the results that we're having. So this is one of our results right here. So that's kind of enough about me talking. I really hope you guys really thank you for having us and allowing us to be here and being blessed with you guys' support. And all of the support that you're giving will help us with our summer program this summer. And this is the summer program we've been doing for the last 3 years, but I've been doing it for the last 20 years. So 20 summers I dedicate to the youth. And we just decided to kind of just be more intentional about why we're doing what we're doing. And that's providing a safe space for our youth so they can continue to focus on making good decisions. So thank you very much. And we're going to honor you guys with some drumming. Y'all good with that? Y'all good with some drumming? All right, cool. Thank you very much. So thank you for allowing us to honor you guys with some drumming. That rhythm was called Cuckoo. It's from an ethnic group called the Manayan people of the Forest of Guinea in the Balar region of the Ivory Coast. And the rhythm is to celebrate the harvest. Celebrate the harvest, which is perfect timing. All right, so thank you very much. My bad. Introduce the guys. I'm gonna let the guys introduce themselves.
Hey, my name is Quentin Calhoun. I'm a junior at Austin East High School. I've been what I started in like 8th grade. So yeah, I've been drumming. I was 7th grade. So yeah, I've been drumming for about 5 years.
Tell some about how Drums Up, Guns Down.
Drums Up, Guns Down encouraged me. You know, it gave me strength and confidence. You know, I remember my first show during 8th grade at Kwanzaa. I had an opportunity to solo on djembe. I didn't take it though. You know, I was nervous, I was scared. But you know, the more I started to show up, show out, drum, build relationships with the rest of my drummers, you know, I started to build up a little more encouragement in myself. So, yeah.
My name is Jordan McNabb, and I've been drumming since I was 7 years old. I went to a private school and elementary school, and they offered music after school. And I seen his class one day because I was in drum set practice, and I seen that he had practice, and I told my mom that I wanted to do it. And she asked me, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I fell in love with it ever since. And I've been through it. I drummed for a long time now, and Drums Up, Guns Down showed me that I can be whoever I want to be. I don't have to live by no standard, and it always just guided me there. And it's always a good release if I'm stressed or anything, it helps. And Oba, he helped me. Like, he was high school, my senior year, he was on me about my after school plans, and he made sure that I got in trade school, so I thank you for that.
All right, now I'm done. Thank you.
Powerful, powerful music. You ever notice how the outward beat of the drums gets us in touch with the inward beat of our hearts, bringing the outward and the inward life together? I want to begin the homily by telling a story. Once my daughter and her friend Molly, who were then just teenagers, were down in downtown playing music, busking on a street corner, when they were approached by a street corner evangelist intent on converting the young women to her religion, and sat down and talked with them for a while, and it was kind of a one-way conversation for a while, until the evangelist asked, "Where do you go to church?" And Sally and Molly said, "We go to the Unitarian Universalist Church." And the evangelist was quiet for a minute and then said, "Well, you can find Jesus there too if you look hard enough." And I consider that a fairly benevolent encounter. Someone who not only talks but also listens, and also asks questions. But have you ever had a bad encounter with an evangelist? Someone who is very aggressive about trying to convert you to their religion, assuming you were lost until you were found by that person. Someone who gave you the hard sell, who acted like they had everything to teach and nothing to learn from you. I think most of us have had that experience. Mahatma Gandhi was a Hindu who was critical of the Christian missionaries in India because they could be very aggressive and overbearing and insensitive. And in their hands, religion could too often become just another tool of Western imperialism. For this reason, he wrote that when we try to spread our faith, we should not do so through preaching or proselytizing or pressure tactics. Instead, we should spread our religion the way a flower spreads its scent. Just as a flower draws people to it, the way we live our lives will always speak more eloquently than anything we can say with our lips. As Mother Teresa once said, at all times preach the gospel. If necessary, use words. Language can be an obstacle when trying to talk about religion, and that's why the Tao Te Ching says, those who know don't say, and those who say don't know. Words that are humbling for a preacher to hear. On the Saturday before Easter, Doris Gove led a group of us from the church on a hike on the River Bluff Trail in Norris, which is known for its wildflowers. And we got there early before the parking lot was full. It's kind of, the beauty of nature plus congested parking being part of the dynamic. People come from miles around to see these wildflowers. And it's always good to go on a hike with Doris because she knows all the names of all the flowers. And so we got to see trillium, dog hobble, trout lily, wild oat, mayapple, phacelia, Solomon's seal, bishop's cap, fiddlehead ferns, Dutchman's breeches, and more. Now this time of year, these flowers become like celebrities, and hiking groups become the paparazzi. All the people are sort of taking pictures of the wildflowers with their cell phones. During the hike, we would periodically stop to enjoy the fragrance of a flower or a plant. And as Gandhi wrote, we will all admit that the real proof of the truth of a religion is found in the fragrance of real spirituality, love, joy, peace, that may emanate from those who hold that religion. And without that, our creeds and our professions of faith and our preaching, even our worship and our prayers, will not lead anyone to see. For this reason, Gandhi said, a life of uttermost simplicity and service is the best preaching. Gandhi was a Hindu, but he was influenced by the Jain tradition of India. And if you ask someone from the Jain tradition, do you believe in God, they might say yes, or they might say no, but they will follow up with a statement like this: we do not believe in an external God. Instead, we contemplate the principle of physics that energy cannot be created or destroyed, and we aspire to align with that energy. We do not believe in any external authority, divine or human, that demands perfection of us. Our goal is growth. We believe in a power within us, an unfolding life within us. And in this sense, the Jain tradition aligns with the Gospel of Luke, that the kingdom of God is within us, this inward life that is unfolding like a flower. Earlier, we held a child dedication ceremony. And this tradition is grounded in the power of the inner life. In the 19th century, the Unitarian minister William Ellery Channing once said, the great end of religious instruction is not to stamp our minds upon the young, but to stir up their own. Not to impose our religion, but to help them discover their own, to awaken the conscience, to awaken the soul, to awaken the inner life. One of the more interesting saints in the Catholic tradition is Saint Therese of Lisieux, who was known as the Little Flower. She did not live a long life, and she did not accomplish much in the way that the world measures things. Her power was not in her resume. And yet, in her comparatively brief life, she made a difference. When she was canonized by the church statement said she did ordinary things with extraordinary love. Saint Therese once said, if every tiny flower wanted to be a rose, then spring would lose its loveliness. If every flower wanted to be a rose, spring would lose its loveliness. The life that unfolds in each of us unfolds in different ways. In some of us, it may unfold like a rose. In others, it may be like a crested dwarf iris or a trout lily or some other flower. But as we find this power of our inner life in us, we find unity in diversity, and we feel that we are all flowers of one garden. Flowers of one garden. Now, it's bad evangelism when a rose tries to convince everyone else that they need to be a rose. That's bad evangelism. Such an impulse is at odds with the color and variety of spring. A week ago, many of us volunteered to help with Family Promise, turning our church into a place where people who were otherwise homeless would have shelter. This work included shopping for supplies, cooking meals, washing dishes, setting up tables, blowing up air mattresses, being available for questions, or just to listen. Ordinary things done with extraordinary love. This past week, we had church volunteers organizing for Justice Knox and the rally at the Civic Coliseum, working to end homelessness, to improve our schools, to reduce violence in our community, to create better public transportation options, working for systemic change. And this work involves making phone calls, going to meetings, organizing groups, calling people, talking to elected officials. Ordinary actions done with extraordinary love, an expression of the love that is in us, unfolding as naturally as wildflowers, a life of simplicity and service. This morning I came in early to get ready for the flower communion and found that our flower committee had already brought tons of flowers, had bunches of bouquet on the already in the sanctuary. Ordinary efforts done with extraordinary love. Now, when I was a senior in high school, I had a job delivering flowers. And I have to tell you, that's one of the best jobs a teenager can have, because everybody loves the flower delivery person. As soon as you walk in the door of the office, you're the most popular person in the room. Everyone lights up. It's just amazing to watch the way people's faces change in a miraculous way. Now, the scriptures tell us, consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil or spin, but Solomon in all his glory was never clothed as one of these. These are the words of Jesus from the Sermon on the Mount. So I guess the street corner evangelist was right. If you look hard enough, you'll find him. This week I was hiking on the Big Creek Trail in the Smokies, mindful of the fact that I'm about to do 3 memorial services. One for an old friend, Bill Dockery, and 2 for 2 people who died way too young, Tony Webb and Alana Gray. And there was a moment on that hiking trail when I was looking at some wildflowers and I was overcome with emotion. And I felt a tear going down my cheek. And I was just overpowered by the beauty and the brevity of life. The power and the beauty and brevity of life. The flowers on the Big Creek Trail do not need evangelists. The wildflowers do not require missionaries going door to door. And at our best, our church spreads its message like a flower, sharing its fragrance, the fragrance of love, joy, peace, and goodwill. And if we do our job right, every time we walk in the room, people will light up and the atmosphere of our world will be completely changed. So may it be. I invite you to enjoy some music during this time, which is our offertory. And this is a time to make a contribution to Drums Up, Guns Down. You can do so by leaving cash in the collection plates as you leave. You can also give in multiple ways through texting and through online giving. So I invite you to give generously to this very important work.
In the soft earth beneath our dry feet, the earth she moves and moans anew, and we are called to plant our seedlings with sacred deeds of deepening hues. Across the blue sky above our heads, the sun's warm rays come right to us. The wind lifts spirits from our kingdom. Our love psalm reaches to newfound heights. Primavera, la primavera, we give thanks for your living vow. In this season of new beginnings, la primavera calls to us now. The lilied springtime keeps coming forth, rebirthing us from dark places. With rain and misting they grow taller, and we grow deeper in good graces. As we emerge as siblings of faith, the spring tells us to show we care for one another and our mother, and let it be our solemn prayer.
Good morning. This is one of my favorite days in this congregation. We are about to participate in a ritual that has been done in Unitarian churches for 101 years this year. That's a really cool thing. And I want to invite us to look around this room this morning. Think about all the folks who are here who do all different things in this congregation. Think about the folks who come throughout the year who are our guests and bring powerful music, bring their stories. Think about the folks who are watching online. Think about the folks we mentioned in Joys and Concerns, the excitement of new birth, the sharing of loss and grief, the sharing of life. It's a really cool thing. And as we reflect on our shared life together, we each come from different backgrounds, we come from different experiences, we come from different vines, different trees, different grounds, and we come together on a Sunday morning, not just on Sunday morning, but throughout the year in various ways to make this bouquet of life and celebration. Because of our diverse backgrounds, our community exists as a great big bouquet of humanity. By exchanging flowers, we show our willingness to walk together in our search for truth, meaning, and connection. Now, in some congregations, folks come forward and they simply take a flower from the altar and return to their seats. But following the example of some other congregations, when we gather and do it, we are going to come forward, select a flower, and then exchange it with someone next to you. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky, and we always get a little mixed up every year, and that's okay. Think of it as the flowers blowing in the breeze, bumping up against each other. But as we come forward in a few minutes, as we have music, we're going to kind of make a whirlwind. We're going to go to the back of the sanctuary. We're going to come up through the middle. You're going to select your flower and exchange it with the person next to you, and then return to your seat through the front and back out. Is that clear as mud? All right, so down the center, out to the sides, and back to your seat. And for folks who are watching online, I invite you to, wherever you're watching, share either in the comments or on our Facebook page a picture or the name of your favorite flower or the name of someone you'd like to remember this morning. And for those who maybe have a little trouble navigating crowds, we invite you, if you'd like to, just raise your hand and we will exchange a flower with you. So at this time, we will begin our flower communion service with this prayer that was offered by Dr. Norbert Chopek, who introduced the flower communion in 1923. He blessed the flowers with this prayer. Infinite Spirit of life, we ask thy blessing on these, thy messengers of fellowship and love. May they remind us, amid diversity of knowledge and of gifts, to be one in desire and affection, and devotion to thy holy will. May they also remind us of the value of friendship, of doing and sharing alike. May we cherish comradeship as one of thy most precious gifts. May we not let awareness of one another's talents discourage us or sully our relationship, but may we realize that whatever we can do, great or small, the effort of all of us are needed to do thy work in this world. The flower communion will now be gratefully received. I hope our singers get some good rest for their voices this afternoon. A minister I know once said that good ritual or good worship is like a good meal. It takes as long as it needs to take, and as long as everybody's having a good time, that's what's important. So thank you all for a wonderful service this morning. I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and I'm going to close us out before our final hymn with the prayer of consecration by Dr. Chapek, which was another prayer that he offered during the first flower communion. In the name of Providence, which implants the seeds of the future of the tree and in the hearts of, which implants in the seed the future of the tree and in the hearts of people the longing for those living in love. In the name of the highest, in whom we move and who makes the mother and father and brother and sister and siblings what they are. In the name of the sages and great religious leaders who sacrificed their lives to hasten the coming of the beloved community, let us renew our resolution, sincerely, to be real siblings regardless of any kind of bar which estranges us from one another. In this holy resolution, may we be strengthened, knowing that we are part of that family, that one spirit, that spirit of love that unites us, and may we endeavor for a more perfect and more joyful life forever and always. Amen. I invite you to join in singing our final hymn, hymn number 29, I believe it is, not 39, in the great hymnal, Joyful, Joyful, We Adore Thee.
Prophetic Church, the world awaits your joyful, unfolding, and flowering ministry. Go forward in the power of love, proclaim the truth that makes us free. Let people living in all lands declare that fear and hate are done. Rise above differences and stand in love and understanding one. As our last act of worship, I invite you to turn and greet your neighbor.